That's honestly a perfect segue for what we were originally going to talk about with you, Henry, which is the offensive and defensive rookie of the year conversation. And I think it's an interesting place to evaluate this post draft because we know the stats. 6 quarterbacks drafted in the top 12. It's easy to think that this is going to be a year dominated by rookie quarterbacks. Then you do the math, you look at recent history, and you see only 4 out of the last 10 NFL offensive rookie of the year winners have played the quarterback position. Whether you want to talk about Jamar Chase, whether you want to talk about Garrett Wilson, Saquon Barkley going back several years, it's very normal to see skill players win NFL offensive rookie of the year. So with Caleb Williams and Drake May and Jaden Daniels in this conversation, do you lean chalk, or do you think this could be a situation where we see this trend continue?
Okay, I feel like we've lost sight of the fact that we had supposedly like the best quarterback prospect in like a decade, right? Like, I don't know. I know the Bears have stunk for a long time, and I know they don't have a good history of picking quarterbacks, but Caleb Williams is like really, really, really good. He is a dual threat. He is he's got the arm that everybody's been looking for a decade. And guess what? He's throwing Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet. He's got an offensive line in front of him. I think it's the boring answer. That's why I'm trying to get super excited about it. But I think he's the obvious pick here. Like, I don't want to overthink it. Like, I do think Marvin Harrison Jr. is another really good one. But guess what? That's also kind of chalk too. Because you put Marvin Harrison with Kyler Murray and in an offense that really kind of needs a receiver anyway. And it makes a lot of sense. But I think there's the obvious one. Like, because we have spent so much time trying to figure out who was going to go at number 2. Is it Jaden Daniels or is it Drake May? And then will Drake May actually go at 3? Like, the forgotten storyline was like Caleb Williams is really good. He's one of the best prospects we've seen in a long time. And that kind of guy tends to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's just, especially considering that his offense is like, they put a lot of money and a lot of draft picks into making that offense not stink anymore.
It is the boring answer, but you're not wrong for making the point. And the crazy thing too, I'm not the first person to point this out, obviously, but the bar is so low for Bears quarterbacks, right? Like, we've heard so much, people have made so much about there's never been a 4,000-yard passer in franchise history. The rookie touchdown record for the Chicago Bears, I think it's like 11. It's not, I mean, Caleb Williams could surpass all of these marks without trying all that hard. I mean, I hate to put too much expectation on the guy, but like, as long as he's healthy for 17 games, he could rewrite the Bears record books. And yeah, if he gets them into the playoff conversation, I honestly think it's a no-brainer. So I'm with you on that. You mentioned one Arizona Cardinal. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a great answer as well. Being the hipster that I am, if I'm looking for a long shot, I just want to throw out Trey Benson, the Cardinals' 3rd-round running back pick. I think he's going to have plenty of opportunity. Obviously, James Conner is still in Arizona, but he's going to get plenty of opportunity. And speaking of James Conner, the dude scored 30 touchdowns since he joined Arizona, and that's with them being a bad team. So with Kyler Murray there, with Marv there now, with the offensive line souped up, I wouldn't be surprised if Trey Benson has a really, really good year. So if I'm looking for a bit of an upset, I feel pretty good about that.
I don't mind it. I certainly, in my dynasty fantasy leagues, have Trey Benson circled. I hope none of the people in my league are watching right now. But the other guy, I mean, we've already talked about him, Keon Coleman. Don't forget him. I think, like, again, long shot, no doubt. Like feels like a long shot. But you said, I think before air, or I'm not sure, but about 700, 800 like useful yards for Keon Coleman. And I think that's like totally feasible. But what I think could also surprise us is, like, if Curtis Samuel doesn't quite work out as well as they need him to, and Khalil Shakir is a little more limited than we expected in that slot role, because guess what? Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis are on the outside. All of a sudden, Keon Coleman becomes an extremely targeted offensive weapon in that offense that really needs a guy to do that. And Coleman is like almost perfectly suited to Josh Allen's strengths. He may not run super fast. He ran a 4.61. That's why he fell into the second round. But he's a big-bodied guy. He can go up and catch the ball away from defensive backs. And most importantly, he knows how to be creative, like what Travis Kelce is for Patrick Mahomes, in the way that he can kind of like slide naturally toward Mahomes in sort of like after structure moments. That could be kind of an asset for Keon Coleman, where like the play breaks down, Josh Allen scrambling, Keon Coleman's kind of like working his way back to Josh, and then they get some bonus yards. If that works out, then we also have, I think, Keon Coleman in Offensive Rookie of the Year contention.
Nope, not to pile too much expectation on the guy. Sorry, Keon, but I do think he's one of the biggest X factors in this coming NFL season, because if Keon Coleman is fine and he looks like a productive rookie, then I think the Bills are a good team, but probably not a true contender. But if Keon Coleman is Rookie of the Year caliber, then the Bills probably don't miss a beat. And if Josh Allen is playing the way he did in the second half of last season with a guy like Keon Coleman, then this is a team that I'm going to take just as seriously as I did when they were at the peak of their powers with Stephon Diggs doing his thing. So that performance could go a long way toward determining whether the Bills window is, or how open the Bills window is, I should say.
Yeah, I think the other thing we could see, a part of what empowered the Bills at the second half of last season was sort of like giving Stephon Diggs a bit of a back seat in the offense, like fewer snaps, fewer targets, fewer everything. And I think that's what empowered them to trade him away. Do I think it was a great decision? Like, not exactly, no, but that's why Joe Brady becomes such a huge part of this offense in a way that is even more crucial. Is it's going to be more game plan oriented. Like who do they see as a matchup threat in any given week? And it could be Coleman some weeks and it could be other guys other weeks. But like I said, if ultimately Curtis Samuel and Khalil Shakir don't end up being those matchup guys they can trust, then it might be Keon Coleman. So, yeah, I think the Bills are going to be okay, but it will mostly be because of Josh Allen.
Keon Coleman at plus 2,500. Not bad looking odds, though. Or Trey Benson at plus 5,000 for that matter. But I think we already agreed at the top of this. It's boring for a reason, but I really do think it's Caleb Williams' award to lose. We'll see how that ages here over the next 10 months or so, give or take.